Here we are. Yep. So, gonna take a minute. I think you're gonna need a bigger rock. Hello.
Yeah.
You guys hear me? Hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Thank you. I think that's good. So, hello everybody.
Hi.
Let's see.
I think the fire looks pretty. What do you guys think?
The fire looks pretty. What do you guys think?
I turn it down.
Yeah, don't.
All right. Hello. Hello, YouTube. So, is everything working all right so far? You guys can hear us, see the fire.
Oh, it fell.
Yep, good. Cool. We haven't done one of these in a while. Yep. So, you say hi?
Yeah, well, who's in? Who do
Yeah.
we have?
Right here. She was in there.
The fully awakened. Hello. Nikki. What's the temp here?
It's not that cold tonight.
No, my phone usually says it.
Not that bad tonight. I say in the 50s.
Yeah, I think it said 53.
53?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Yep.
Yeah, it's not too cold. Actually, there's no wind or anything. It's not bad out at all. And I'm somebody who's always cold.
Yeah.
Getting settled in now?
Almost.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I want to see the boys, if the hotspot's still working for them.
Okay.
So,
Go check on the kids.
yeah. Talk to everybody for now.
So,
I'll be right back.
what's everybody want to talk about? What's going on with everyone?
What do you mean? What do you want? Tons of
Well,
stuff.
I know there's so much going on. I don't know where we can start. So, looking for suggestions. Yeah, the fire's gorgeous. It's nice and warm. Let's start with the crazy fires in California. Yeah. Yeah. What do we think? Do we think these are wild fires? Or do we think it's something else completely? I heard on some YouTube channel today, don't know who, that there's some kind of rail system, you know, like high-speed rail or something, that the fires are following the line of where they want to plan something like that. That would be kind of interesting. Nikki's in Clovis. Yep, it's in the 50s there. Hi, David. Yeah, I think it could be. It seems really strange to me, fully awakened, when the whole house is completely gone and the trees right outside the windows are green. It doesn't make sense. Angel from Oklahoma, hello. Welcome up to our fire. Yeah, Janetta, too much bad stuff. We can talk about good stuff. Anything you want to talk about. If you have a good story to bring up, tell us. Lori, hi, Lori. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Fully Awakens from Central Florida.
Hotspot's still working, so kids
Oh.
are happy.
Good. As long as
Yeah.
they're happy. Mr. Frank's place. Wave from Tennessee. Hi, Tennessee. I like how you wrote that. Philip, greetings to you.
Been a while
Yeah.
since the last live stream.
Yeah, Janetta, it's probably definitely. I don't know. We were talking about the fires in California and whether or not we thought they were wildfires or not. We all seem to be in agreement so far that it's probably directed at me.
Yeah, I think most
Mama
of us
Bear.
are on the
Hi,
same
Mama
page.
Bear.
Yeah.
Mama Bear's from Kansas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday to your son, Philip. That is good news. 7 today.
7.
Yeah.
It's my number.
Yeah, that's Tommy's lucky number.
So I hope everyone's doing good.
Agenda 21 is real. It certainly is. It certainly is.
Yep. California.
It's funny how they do put all the information out there, but nobody really ever who reads the fine print, right? It's like the South Park episode where Kyle ends up part of the human centipede because he wouldn't read.
Right. We're all guilty of that.
Oh, Mama Bear says 7's her lucky number too, Tommy.
I have 7 years, 7 acres. The list goes on and on and on.
Philip says Agenda 21 made a picture of Calvin was on the book of it and put it up to Twitter. That's awesome. Tommy just started Twitter. I don't understand it at all.
Either do I.
It seems far too complicated. Thought it was supposed to make things easier. I've actually never even been on Twitter.
Either was I until I set up the account. I'm still learning, so
Hi,
those of
Johnny.
you who are on
Welcome to
Twitter.
the fire. And John Santos. Jade Helm. Subliminal messages.
Hello, John. What's up,
Yeah,
brother?
crazy world. Yep, there's way too much craziness happening.
Yeah, we gotta do these more often.
Although I do have to say I got a good laugh when I heard about Avenatti getting arrested for domestic violence. All of a sudden now it's don't believe all women. It's funny how fast they can flip-flop.
Yep. Someone's driving by.
So the dogs are letting us know. Isn't that nice of them?
Shh, quiet girl.
Opinions on Venezuela. Well, I think Venezuela has a lot to do with
There's China.
what's happening.
China's
with,
in Venezuela, and they're amassing troops to stage an invasion into the U.S. Call me crazy.
Yeah.
You'll see.
There was a video, though, where a Mexican reporter, or at least that's what I believe he was very professional.
He was a Mexican reporter.
Yeah, he said that he got like a tip
Wasn't-
or like a, what is it, like
it
an
was-
informant or something?
Yeah, it wasn't him. It was a truck driver friend of his.
Yeah, told him that when he went out into the jungle to take a piss, you know, as he stopped on one of his routes, he went in there and there was hundreds of tanks with a red star on them.
And that was years ago. That wasn't this year. That was like in 2016.
Chuck the Canuck. How you doing, TJ? He says.
How's it going?
Tanks in Mexico now, Fully Awakened says.
Yep. Yes, there is.
Never joined either, Janetta. So Johnny says, I've been thinking Russia or China. We're thinking both, Johnny. Both. We're thinking Russia and China are a team.
I've been telling people for years. People look at me like I got 3 heads and I'm crazy.
Chuck says thousands.
Yep. I've been telling people for years that Russia and China are going to invade us. And they're like, okay. Yep. And they'll have the help of the United Nations.
Good evening, Daniel. Red Dawn, yeah.
It's all been planned.
Ontario, Canada. Mike, hello. Sharon. The Mexicans in Tijuana are beating up the caravan now. Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a video on that too, didn't you?
Yeah, earlier. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And how long they been there? Like 2 days? Ready to kill them?
that just means the Mexicans are a lot smarter than most of the people in Europe, because people in Europe should have been pounding them a long time ago. After what happened in Germany on New Year's Eve with all those women being raped, those guys should have started pounding the snot out of them a long time ago.
Hi, David. Yeah, we heard about China making an artificial sun. China will come through Canada also, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Nova Scotia, Canada. That's where Chuck the Canuck. Is that where you're from, Chuck? Philip says Russia and China are both in Venezuela right now, and they had a thing with them down there in the military. Yeah, and Pence came right out and said that Venezuela, the left-leaning people in Venezuela, the ones that took over everything and destroyed the country, are also funding these immigrants. And it makes sense from that perspective, because nothing changed in their lives. These immigrants were living in poverty, living in violence, living with all this stuff for years and years and years. Well, some of them.
But not one of them said they were fleeing violence. They all said they wanted better jobs. Remember that?
Right. The poverty. Right. I don't know how they think it's going to be better. Anyway, they're funding them. So they're all, and wasn't there another video we watched with all like these military ships right off the coast there?
Yeah, that was that Maquis.
Oh, Florida Maquis.
Yeah, that was a while back. That was last month.
Yeah.
Yep.
The elites and the deep state want to bring down. Yeah, they do. And they've been doing it for a lot longer. I mean, this has been it's like Captain America.
Yep.
You know, Hail Hydra. It's been going on. They've been like infiltrating and just setting things into motion. And it's finally coming together.
Yep, it's time.
Like the TV shows, everything, like The Simpsons. I mean, don't tell me that Rothschild isn't Mr. Burns, because he definitely is. You know, I mean, and that they do that on purpose. They tell us truths, right, in our fiction, and they lie to us in our news where we're supposed to get our truth. Yeah. Yeah, Jade Helm was definitely a big part of this, Johnny.
Oh yeah, well, every state that Jade Helm operated in and deemed a combative is where they are now. Mm-hmm. Texas was deemed a red state, and I don't mean Republican. On the Jade Helm map, any state that was in red, they considered a combative. And it was Arizona, the southern portion of California. It matches the Jade Helm map exactly.
Mm. And wasn't it like military cap? Well, I don't know what they're called, but the upper people in the military, they invited the militia down.
Right. Well,
and didn't
Helm, right? Helm in the Jade Helm actually stands for Homeland Eradication of Local Militia. They want to get rid of us.
Yeah, Family Guy, The Simpsons, all these, even movies, even the movies tell us truths about things. I mean, scary when you think about it, but Terminator might not be that far away, or The Matrix, or some kind of machine takeover
We
might
get
not be that far away.
We get our truth from our fiction and
Fiction from where we're supposed to get our truth. I said that. Yeah, yeah. The sun's like white now. It's not yellow anymore. Sharon says she heard military being called even from their leave to Texas for domestic deployment. What do you think that's about? I think it's probably because it really is an invasion and not necessarily, the immigrants, although I think a lot of these immigrants aren't immigrants. I think they're been trained down there. I think
insurgents.
I think it's all a big ploy. I mean, it's totally orchestrated. We can see it. They're wearing Under Armour and Nikes and have smartphones, and I'm thinking they're living in poverty.
Well, there's reports of
my shoes have fallen apart.
There's reports of immigrants that are beating people up and taking their cameras if they take pictures of them.
Right.
What the hell's that all about?
Right. Why wouldn't they, if they have nothing to hide and they just want to come up and get a better life, why would they, not want anybody to see who they are? I mean, all of it's very, very, very messed up, as you all know. Hi, Loretta.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I miss these fires.
So Johnny says he's in East Texas, and a lot of the troops are passing through from time to time. Where you, did you have, like, what kind of things did you see at Jade Helm, like when that was going on? Or did you see anything then? Yeah, our history is made up, Marcella.
History's written by the winners or the victors.
They're the ones with the most money. Philip says, I have come to keep saying one thing. Coincidence stops when occurrences overwhelm. Can't think these things are just a coincidence anymore. I don't even believe in coincidence, Philip. I really don't. I don't think that. I think everything is for a reason. That's just my philosophy. Always has been, so probably always will be. So Chuck says, this may be the last chance we get to spread truth before they shut it down. The young kids of today need to know the truth. The truth of conspiracy theorist community will be silenced before too long. He's right. I hope we're all talking to our children about it. I talk to mine about it, but their eyes glaze over. But I still say it anyway. Sheriff Longmire. Nice fire, guys. Got any marshmallows? Nope. No marshmallows. Hi, Eyes to See. Nice to have you back. It's been a while.
I could go for some s'mores.
Yeah, well, don't say
Next
it now.
time. Thanks for getting me hungry.
Fully awakened, you taking off? Yeah, plant the seed. Yeah, we got to tell the kids.
Yep, just remember, we live in the mountains of peace and safety.
Steve, we talked about the tanks. I mean, we honestly do believe China and Venezuela, and I heard North Korea, Kim Jong whatever, whatever. He's in Mexico, where they're opening a manufacturing plant to manufacture Russian military equipment, like planes and tanks and all that stuff. So they're going to be able to manufacture them, build them right in Mexico. I mean, how convenient for them to be so close to our border with tanks and whatever else they're building. So Johnny says he was working in West Texas during Jade Helm and saw troops, tanks, transports, artillery, and none have been seen move back. Makes you think, yeah, it's all they've been doing it a long time.
Well, now
they're very well prepared.
Everything's starting to fall into place now. Mm-hmm. The FEMA coffins, the FEMA camps, all that heavy equipment. We've all seen it. We've all seen the YouTube videos through the last few years of massive amounts of military vehicles and UN vehicles being shipped all over the country. Yeah. And now that what's going on right now,
right,
all the pieces of the puzzle.
Well, it's like hindsight's 20/20.
Right, are starting to fit together.
Like, they used to not Yeah, if you mentioned the word Bilderberg, people looked at you like you were crazy.
Now that-
Conspiracy. Now it's like on the regular news. Like, didn't you know? I mean, honestly, they're just being blatant about it now because I think they're feeling bold enough that they are going to be able to pull it all off.
Right.
And there's a lot of people still fully asleep. So you're right. It's nice to see awake people. Hi, guys. Welcome to our fire, you awake people.
It's good. Yeah.
We love this too, Sharon. I meant talk truth. I thought you were talking about my grandma. No, talk truth. Yeah, FEMA coffins. And this stuff has been going on for years and over 10 years. I mean, honestly, they've been planning probably since they killed JFK or even before then. I mean,
since 2012, that's when the internet really blew up with all the
Yeah, but in
military movements and
2001,
the FEMA camps and, you know.
yeah, but in 2001 they blew up the towers.
Yeah.
I mean, like they've been
It's all part of the plan.
right to scare people.
I mean, people on the left are literally walking around the streets nowadays chanting, "No borders, no walls, no USA at all." I mean, come on, how more? They're telling you straight up, no more USA at all. We are under attack. If you doubt it, watch the next leftist rally. Listen to what they're chanting.
So Loretta says, I wouldn't know where to move. Definitely
We live
don't
in the
want to
mountains of
stay
peace and
in
safety.
South Cali. Yeah,
That's why we moved here.
that is why we moved here.
I've been crazy for a long time.
Yeah.
Seriously, I moved here, and people were like, "How come you moved here?" And
Come to
I
the
literally
Hay-Res.
told my neighbors war's coming, and they looked at me like I was a freak.
Yep, check. Yep, made that point too. The high-speed train map does match the fires.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve, it is a shame to see our country fall into the hands of the deep state.
We allowed it to happen by not
Janetta
speaking
says
up.
she's seen
when-
UN trucks in Pasadena, California.
We allowed it to happen. We should have opened our big mouths when
They were probably
telling us
built
not
that
to.
way. I mean, it seems like they have been able to, the towers are probably built to fall the way they did.
You know what's really sad is we're paying for our own demise.
Yeah,
Every-
we are. We're funding the whole thing with
That's
our
right.
tax dollars. It's true. Hi, Danny. John says he's got a lot more aircraft over the Air Force Base, Dover. Joseph, he's got a BB gun and 2 packs of BBs. Well, that's a start. It's better than nothing.
Absolutely. Upgrade.
Yeah, Obama was a big nail in the coffin. Yeah. And his little going away speech when he said the end of the republic never looked so good. It's the only demon rat I ever heard get it right and not call it a democracy.
He wasn't kidding when he said that. When
No,
he
he
said the
wasn't.
end of the
No.
republic never looked so good, he meant that. That was not sarcasm.
Yeah, I'm pissed too, Marcella, but at least we know it. No, what's G.I. Joe say? No one's half the battle. Is
Yeah.
it G.I. Joe?
Yeah, G.I. Joe. No one's half the battle.
Taxes are illegal and we are fooled into pay. Yeah, but if you don't pay them, you'll go to jail.
Assume compliance.
Yep. Assume. Yeah, what is the word?
Assume compliance.
I think it's something else.
Might have a different.
Yeah, there's
Template.
there's like a legal term for it that they use to open bank accounts on us and make millions of dollars off of us and make us pay taxes.
But assume compliance is when you allow somebody to do something without there being a law. You assume that you have to do it and you don't. But once you start doing it, God forbid you stop because
Right. Because we tricked you.
right, paying
Yeah,
taxes.
he makes me nauseous too. Obama makes her nauseous. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, just damned. We're just damned. Yeah.
It really is beautiful out here tonight. I mean, yes, I'm sitting by a fire, but I don't have my tank top on, so almost a full
Yeah.
moon.
John
Yeah,
says anything that goes against the Constitution is null and void. He's absolutely right. Yeah, he was bragging. He looked all cocky too. The end of the republic never looked so good, and everybody in the room laughed. That made me nauseous. That really made me nauseous.
And you have almost every politician out there, and you know, oh, this is you know, this goes against our democracy. It's not how our democracy should be. I am so sick and tired of hearing that.
Russell, I don't know. He wonders about people who say that they're awake, but are they truly? I'm sure that there's still a lot that we don't know. So, how awake can any of us be? I don't know.
I guarantee you, there's only about 3% of the population.
Yeah.
It's not as big as people think.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, I didn't agree either, Chuck. I do not consent.
That's right. I do not consent. Love it.
Janetta, you sound like my dad. He says the same thing.
Wow, it's a busy night. There's 2 cars on the street tonight.
Oh, really? Philly Wicken says, and then he said, you think I'm joking, but I'm not. Sickening. I hope so, Steve. I hope so. I mean, I see videos on the internet that say things like that, but, you know, don't really know until we actually see it. And even then, who knows how much of it, you know, they put on a show, say they're arrested, but then instead of putting them in jail, they send them off to a private island where they get to do whatever they want. I mean, we don't know.
One rule for them, one rule for us.
Yeah, Nikki, we got a lot of sleeping people around here, too.
Yeah, unfortunately. Those
yeah,
are the
Philip,
most...
I agree. The walk away movement was pretty awesome to watch because people were starting to wake up. Go ahead, Tommy. I'm sorry. Do you want to read
This
some?
is the phone. Yeah. That one, the phone you're reading that, the stuff off, that's the speakers on this one, baby. So,
Loretta, they walk around with no clue and they don't even want one because when you try to tell them, they seem to get mad at you. It's the one thing, like, you can tell them, you know, any kind of lie they want to hear and they're happy with that. But when you try to tell them the truth, they get mad.
well, sleeping people are the most dangerous people. They'll be the ones calling in, you know, to the FEMA camps and to the National Guard saying, hey, I haven't heard from so-and-so up on the hill, and I know they have children. You should send somebody up to go check on them, you know?
Right.
You'll be blocking off the bottom of the hill to keep the UN and the evil ones out, and they'll be like, oh, no, they're here to help us. You got to let them in. They will be the most dangerous people.
Yeah. Russell, we agree that we think it was probably like targeted, directed energy, something.
Come on. The car melts. I mean, aluminum rims melt, right? The tile around it or the concrete underneath it, it's not even damaged, you know?
Yeah, they're going to panic, Chuck. When the shit hits the fan, they're definitely going to panic.
Yeah, trees burning from the inside out.
Yeah, the beast. Yeah, demon rats, the beast. Yeah, it's all very clear to see.
Yeah. Come on, they predicted that in order to buy anything or do anything, you will need the mark of the beast. Now Europe's making it pretty much mandatory. You have to get a chip.
No, not me.
And I don't understand why those boys over there aren't already rioting. And still they don't riot.
Yeah, no. We just keep taking and taking and taking and taking.
The left, though, they actually got their act together more than us. I mean, call somebody the wrong pronoun there in the street.
Rioting.
Next day, take away our rights, freedom of speech, gun rights.
Yeah, smart meters too. Smart meters definitely. Not taking it. I hope not. No chip for Mama Bear either, or Mike. Oh.
Only chip I have is the ones on my shoulders.
Yeah, so India's gonna chip everyone. Take your chip and shove it.
That'd be a good shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. There was this whole article about how the people that work in Silicon Valley and make all these smartphones and all this stuff don't allow their own children to use them. What does that tell us? None of us should be using them, really.
They know that all this stuff's bad for you.
Mm-hmm. They know.
And we went absolutely backwards
Yeah.
with our technology.
I'd love to be in the 80s. I'd love it.
You know,
I don't want my big hair back.
how can they call it? How can they call it progress, right? When we're going to be supposedly going to 5G, right? Which is supposed to be a better system, but you need a tower every 1,000 feet. A better system would be having one tower in the country and being able to cover everybody in the country. You guys understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's just ridiculous. That's like going backwards. You know, that was like Edison with DC power. In order to supply people with DC power, you would have needed a station every, 2-3 miles. That's why Tesla beat Edison, because, alternating current goes for thousands and thousands of miles without
Good night, Steve.
degradation.
Yeah.
They lie about everything.
Yeah, well, it started with the TV, Well, it probably started with the radio programs, for freak's sake. And then
but the TV was the first one labeled boob tube.
Yeah, it was totally to hypnotize, and literally these things change people's brain waves. They know how all of this stuff will interact with us, and probably even the stuff that they're spraying over our heads and putting in the food and the water. I mean, fluoride for sure. I mean, we went how long thinking that this was good for us? I mean, we're like, oh, got to get toothpaste with fluoride. They've definitely been trying to keep us down and dumb and get us dumber and fatter and everything else. It's awful.
Poison our food, our air, our water.
Yeah, if we could get enough people, Marcella, we could do that kind of thing. One person does it, they're labeled a lunatic. The wood is mostly pinyon and juniper. It's from the dead fall off the trees around here.
Pretty dead, that's why it's going up so fast.
Russell, quartz crystal, surround yourself. Yeah, it smells good, Sheriff.
Smells real good right now.
Yeah, 1 minute viewing TV. Yep, it changes your brain waves. That's right, Marcella. McDonald's has nanotechnology. Yeah, I'm sure it does.
If anyone ever had doubts about TV hypnotizing people, just look at your kids. They'll be sitting there watching a show and you'll be calling their name. Max.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hey, Max. Max.
Yeah.
Max.
They're totally out of
what?
it.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Right. And Fully Awakened says they call it television programming for a reason. But they do. They tell us the truth. We just don't even know it. Because they mostly put it in our fiction. Smells lovely.
What's that battery thing?
Yeah, they don't like it at all. That's why they're shutting so much down. That's why we have to do it while we still can.
I'll be right back. I gotta go get that little battery to put it on there. Between the live stream and the hotspot for the kids.
Yeah, it is ironic, Phil. Tinfoil hat people were right. You gonna get the hotspot?
No, I'm gonna go get the battery.
Oh, so because the phone doesn't die?
Well, I have the hotspot on for the kids because they're watching.
Right, so it'll kill your phone.
Right. Well, I'm already at 50%.
Yeah,
so.
Fact is stranger than fiction.
I'll be right back.
But that's why they put it in the fiction and then make you think that it's not real, when in fact that's probably more real than... It's definitely more real than whatever CNN or MSNBC or any of them just said. Yeah, or has a place that they can just go. I mean, you might have to just try to get supplies along the way. Fully Awakened, you might not be able to stay where you're at. You might have to move. Yeah. I don't either, Marcella. Not that I really ate much fast food, but not at all. And I even don't know what I'm buying in the grocery store half the time either. If I could just raise my own and do it on my own, I would love that. Yep. Chuck, you're right. They want us sick and dumb and easy to manipulate. They want us completely dependent on them, and then they poison us. It's like the only water in the world they'll have, and it'll all be poison. Yeah, find real seeds. That's not easy. They're trying to make it so the boys turn into girls. They're putting soy and everything. They're making the sperm counts go low. They don't want us to reproduce. I mean, the Georgia Guidestones are out there. They're a real thing, a real place, you know, where they're like maintain humanity.
500 million.
500 million?
Yeah,
500 million for the whole earth. I mean, that's it. That's all that's allowed, which means, you know, they'll be in total control on who can have a baby when, if they even let that happen, if they're not growing them in test tubes at that point.
All right, this might shake a little. I'm just plugging in the battery, so here we go.
Yeah, they won't tell you, but they do put it all out there. But they just don't tell you where to find it or what to think. Rotten bastards. Absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah, that should keep the...
Yeah, you think that'd be enough of us to get together and do the right thing, John? Yeah, causing infertility, probably in cancer. Okay, check out Wise Up on YouTube.
What's that say? Photo bonding.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
I don't want to close the app.
Twitter isn't...
There we go.
Something came up on his phone.
Can't see it. In order to keep my phone upright, I'm pinching it between two rocks here.
Russell, divide and conquer. Exactly.
There we go.
So John says YouTube censoring, can't even comment or like on her videos.
Yeah, that's not good. Eventually be all of us.
Wow, that fire's getting hot. I gotta back up a little bit.
Yeah, back the phone up a little too.
Yeah. It's starting to melt. Oh, what? I messed up the live chat. There it is. Philip lives in the hills of Pennsylvania.
Does he?
There are lots of old knowledge passed down all around here. And you want to share?
I shake a little. I gotta move the table back. So the phone don't melt. Hold this right like this. Yeah, grab this.
Okay.
There you go.
More technical difficulties.
Well, you can get closer. phone was getting hot. I think that's why.
Good advice, Marcella. Be ready
Pushing out.
for who knows what.
How's it look? Good?
Yep. Isn't that from the Paul, the video, If I Were the Devil? John's. Is that from the 60s, like 1965 or something?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that was from the 60s. If I Was the Devil, that radio, it was like a radio broadcast.
Worldwide. Hi. Yeah. It's going to get bad, but I think it'll get better too. That's just what I think. I think the beast is already defeated.
Not defeated yet. It's just waking up. Well, it's not. It's just trying to implement its plan.
Chuck, that's probably true for most of us. We'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Hi, Laura. The fire's nice.
Yes, it is.
That's on Eyes to See channel. Good for you, D. Just gonna try to have a good, healthy supply. So the RFID is in the UK, is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, they're trying to implement the chip, make it mandatory. You won't have a choice. Like every business in the UK is going to implement all the employees
so their
having
employees
a chip.
have to have. So you can't have a job if you don't have a chip.
Right.
That's how they do it. They like force you into it. You need money, so you have to have a job. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Whatever.
with everything. They do that everywhere. I mean, it's like that right now. You know, God forbid you don't have an ID or a driver's license. You can't have a bank account. You can't do anything. You know, they force you into stuff.
Hi, George. Who's from Michigan?
How many people?
30?
Yeah.
Does it
30,
say
yeah.
30? Yeah.
29, 30.
Oh.
Nice.
That's a lot for us. It's a big group for us.
Yeah, for a live stream, that's good. And we almost the same number of thumbs up, so that's good.
Yay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even want the guillotine, Sheriff. I'd rather take my own bullet than have them do it. Bye, Russell. Get a sandwich. Hopefully Wicken said there was 40 earlier. Woohoo! Thank you. Didn't know that. We must have bored some people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you found us, Marcella.
Friday night, still early too.
Stigma. Philip says, one thing I have learned, look not at the number 666, but the word. Stigma is the mark of the beast. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. D, I agree with you. Our grandparents were and their grandparents, you know, they could be self-reliant. They knew how to do things. Nobody knows anything anymore.
Tell them that story you were telling. Well, actually, it was the video you watched with the older lady telling off the cashier.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. About this younger girl. She was a cashier and an older woman checking out. When she was checking out, the younger girl commented to her that she should really get reusable bags so that she's not using plastic ones, you know, because of the environment and all the damage it does. And so the woman just kind of took it kindly and was like, yeah, well, they when I was young. And so then the girl keeps going and she's like, yeah, well, that's why everything is the way it is now, is because your generation didn't care about the future in our generation. And the lady just kind of went off on her and said, yeah, that's right, because my generation actually didn't use gas-powered lawnmowers. They actually pushed them by hand and washed the baby's diapers and hung them out to dry on a line and didn't use a dryer that runs at 220 volts of electricity. And you know, we weren't green, but we did this and we did. I mean, she had.
We didn't have disposable razors.
Right, like just like she
when
had
a
a list.
blade
She like
got-
must have listed like 10 things, and after each one, she's like, "But we weren't really green." It was awesome. She really.
We didn't have plastic bottles. When we got a drink of water, we used a glass or a cup.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and when
Or we went to a fountain.
when we got milk or soda or whatever from the store, we used glass bottles and returned them to the store, who sent them back to the factory, who sterilized and refilled them and sent them back to us, and they were truly recycled. But we weren't green.
Yeah, it was a good
Hi.
video. Charles Brightman.
Yep.
How's it going, Charles?
He says it's snowy there in Michigan.
Oh, sorry.
Good night, Dee. God bless you too. Good for you, Marcel. You're more than way better off than a lot of other people already. Yeah, they're all taken for granted today. Everybody has a push button, everything. Well, not me anymore, but I did. Laura, she's got cold and ice. Snow.
Sorry.
It's a mess.
It's like 50 here tonight. It's nice. It's actually beautiful. You. He's
And
doing it.
Chuck's in a snowstorm as we're speaking.
Sorry. We had snow the other
turned to
day.
freezing rain.
We had snow the other day, but luckily it didn't last. It was gone by like 1 o'clock. Well, here it was gone by 1 o'clock. You go further north, there's still snow.
That's awesome. Those teens probably didn't know what they were looking at. Phil says that they actually got an old style push mower, and it's been used by a few of the teens there for the grass. They're probably like, what is this? I know my kids don't like that when they see things from the 80s even.
Cassette tapes, 8 tracks.
Oh,
Phones
the snow
with
broke
cords.
Marcella's windshield wiper. Yeah. This winter is supposed to be a doozy. The weather's been crazy anyway, so we don't know what to expect with that.
I mean, we already had snow in New Mexico.
Joseph says, can't afford tinfoil. Can I use beer cans? You certainly can.
Yeah, they work just as good, I hear.
Marcella says it's been cloudy here from time immemorial. Yeah, they're hiding stuff, I think. Can we see the moon? No. Yes, barely.
Well,
it's in a haze.
They were spraying all later in the afternoon. They started spraying here. We had actually pretty clear
Diane.
skies up until say 2 o'clock. They started spraying.
Yeah. So you can see the moon, but it's got a nice little chemtrail haze over it. Philip's explaining to Joseph how he can actually melt the beer cans down and make it into a foil.
Hey, you can't
Where's
get,
the guitar, TJ? Worldwide wants to know.
My daughter's boyfriend's not here yet.
Yeah.
He has one. That's another thing. Yeah,
That's right.
my
Rex.
girl got a boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. That's new.
Yeah, that's new and scary, and he drives. He seems to be an all right kid. He does.
Yeah.
Hey, knock it off, puppies. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let them out of their cage. Let them run around.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the puppies. That should be fun. They're going to jump on me, so you know.
Oh yeah, maybe I should wait. I'll wait.
They will attack me.
Yeah, they haven't
With
been in there that
love.
long.
With love. It's not a bad thing. But they will.
I haven't been in there that long, so.
Yeah. I agree with you too, Charles. I just don't want to think about that.
Quiet.
The
Good
pimple
puppies.
has popped, yeah. It's starting to explode, I would say. Dog kisses, yes, lots of them.
Calm down.
Yeah, it might just work. You don't ever know. My son's 19 and getting married in a few months. Might just work. You never know. No, I know you were, but you are right, John, Charles. I know you're just answering John's question, but you are absolutely right.
He's already been warned, believe it or not. Try talking to him.
Going to try raising pheasant and quail. Where are you, George, that you're going to be doing that? I'm sure that rabbit hole probably doesn't have an end. And Marcella has a rabbit.
Nice.
Oh, yep, Michigan. That's right. Yeah, I haven't either, Philip. I haven't watched TV. I don't even know when the last time I watched the news. It's been
Yeah, we don't have a TV, only
probably a good year and a half,
internet.
at least, yeah. It's tough living in Maryland. What's going on there, John? What do you look at?
Smoky. Don't know if it's stuff in the sky falling down or if it's from the fire.
28 degrees.
Oh, sorry about that.
The fire is nice, and it's only like 50 something here, so.
The fire
7
is so
years
delightful.
without cable. Good for you, Chuck. 6 years, Marcella. Cattails are edible, yep. I don't know how many of those, maybe down by the river. We have some. Yeah. TV's meant to rot your brain, Laura. Some of the counties here in eastern Maryland have voted no confidence for the state and what to leave. That's not good, John. That's funny, worldwide. JT, what's up? 52 in Central Florida. Well, that's crazy. You'd think it'd be warmer there than here. I'm in the mountains. It's probably about 53 here. Thank you for that information. Your battery's low, Tom. Even though.
Already?
Yep.
All right, let me plug that battery in.
I thought you already did that.
Well, all those apps kept popping up, so I unplugged it for a minute. That's because the kids are on the hotspot. Let's try this again.
No, don't have any more snow. It goes away as soon as it comes, JT. Gonna be getting snow too, Philip.
Last a little longer. If it don't, we'll back on your phone, I guess. Or have to call it a night.
Run a cordless extension cord.
Cordless extension
That's
cord.
worldwide.
Yeah.
No Wi-Fi either. Wow, that's great.
Well, the kids already drained the batteries for the inverter because they're in the house watching the computer. So I'd have to recharge the batteries in order to get the inverter going.
I think it's kind of great. Do get to live in that one district if it's the only one. I think it's kind of ironic. At least you're there. The snow stopped for now in Pennsylvania. Closest, Bernalillo, JT.
What, closest what?
Town.
City?
Mhm.
Well, that
Red
would be
Sumac.
city, not town. I mean, San Ysidro's pretty close.
A Southie sheriff. Not sure. I might be. Yeah, if it goes out, we'll try to warn you worldwide. We love you too. Cordless extension. Charles is telling you, telluric, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, earth currents, earth battery, free energy. You gotta talk to Mr. Charles, you really do. Turmeric and everything, agreed.
Turmeric,
Agreed.
I
Put
have
it in your
turmeric in my coffee, yeah.
Yeah, it's yummy. It tastes a little pumpkin spice like.
Turmeric, and I like the saffron.
Bernalillo. I don't quite know how to spell it, but Bernalilio or something
Yeah,
like
why are
that.
they looking up Bernalillo? Because that's like the nearest city, but that's like 45 minutes away.
Yeah, but no, they're just asking.
The closest one would be, well, like actual towns would be the Springs, Miss Springs. They're about, 6, 7 miles down the road.
Yeah, little village. There's not really anything there, JT.
Yeah,
Philip's working on getting some books on native edible plants and mushrooms in Pennsylvania. I took a class on that kind of stuff here, the New Mexico stuff. It turns out we have a lot right here.
Just on our property.
Just right on our property and all around us, really. I mean, it's because the same kind of stuff, but we have yucca and we have edible cactus of all kinds.
They sell pinions on the side of the road out here, so.
We have lots and lots right here. I mean, not just for eating too, but there's lots of plants that you can use to like make a basket or
soap, shampoo.
Yeah, yucca root you can eat. You can also use it to
brush your teeth.
Bathe. It makes like a soap. You can wash your hair with it. It's an antiseptic. And, I mean, yucca is just an amazing plant. It also has this long leaf, a very long, straight leaf with a real sharp spike on the end. Else out there from New Mexico or has been to New Mexico and been stabbed by one, you'll know too. But anyway, if you take one of the leaves and off down at the base, then you take a rock and you gently just bang on the until it starts to break apart. You find that it's nothing but fibers, and you can take that, leave it attached to that spike, and you can literally sew with it. And you can also grind it down to sew finer things. Even apparently you can use it to stitch your skin if you had to. And the fibrous strands are also antiseptic, so you're like doing dual purpose.
Right.
So, I mean, there's some amazing plants.
Our dog catcher told us a lot about the plants here. Our first year here, someone called the dog catcher, and come to find out,
Good question, Mike.
he was a what they call it, botanist, and he literally came here and spent about 2 hours walking around our property, saying, "Oh yeah, you can eat this one, and this one we used to use the sap for gum." And
I'm not sure how to say his name. True Fund, maybe something like that. He says, "Hi guys, isn't it weird how the West Coast is literally in flames while the East Coast is frozen, and in the South, where I live, it rained every day this week Say they do. Saffron is expensive. It's
Yes.
very expensive.
Yeah, it was like $16.
Yeah. Mr. Frank says most valuable commodity will be coffee. LOL.
Yeah, no kidding. You know how many miserable people are going to be out there when shit hits the fan? There's no coffee. You heard of roid rage, right?
John, when are you moving to Wyoming? I just had my tooth pulled 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I'm still miserable. They tried to numb it. They used a lot, and there was an infection in there, and so the numbing medicine didn't work until, of course, after the tooth was pulled out of my face. It was just not pleasant.
I called on Friday, tried getting her an antibiotic, and they go, "Oh no, can't do that. She has to be seen first." They're treating it like I was calling for a freaking narcotic, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So she had to go from Friday when it really started bothering all the way to Tuesday, Monday.
Mm-hmm. Marijuana. That's a good plant. I would trade for that.
She thinks so, I don't.
Oh, Philip says, could be worse. Had to get all but 9 taken out, including wisdom teeth. That felt like an eternal recovery. Oh,
man.
Philip, I feel for you.
Yeah, that's not good.
Ever had a kidney stone, Philip? Because I've had more than I can really count. Died once, too. Yeah, Michigan made
I don't know why all
marijuana legal.
I don't know why all these apps want to try opening for some reason. Never done that before.
See, I liked marijuana better when it was illegal because it was like they didn't want you to have it, so there must be something good about it. But now that they're making it legal, I'm thinking they're probably putting chemicals in that shit
Well, they're
too.
genetically modifying.
Right. So that's not good for you anymore.
Yeah. So if this,
we know about colloidal silver, and that's a good point.
If
That's
this with Mama's phone here, for some reason my phone keeps trying to open the Twitter app.
You shouldn't even have that stuff. It's trying to commandeer your life.
You know, but between the kids being on it, the live stream, and these apps
JT,
trying to
everything
open.
is genetically modified. Gotta grow your own weed too. Yeah, any kind of stone is just awful. And I think stones is the wrong word for it. Like you think of a stone, you think of like a little pebble or like a nice little rock. No, these things look like. I don't know what toadhead is. I didn't know until I moved out here. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if the Mexicans in Tijuana just kicked their asses all the way home?
I hope there's a live stream. I want to see it.
Check you. Sure, we're here. Smoke a tincture better. How do you do the tincture? Do you use an alcohol base? You leaving, JT? Have a good night. Or are we cutting out? What does that mean? Or where Chuck is, where Marcella is, they're allowed 12, and George is allowed 36.
Oh crap.
Says the stream keeps crashing on his device. So good night. Good night, Mike. Sorry. Everclear. Buffering. Yep. You're cutting out and buffering. Yep.
It's not doing it on your phone, right?
No. It looks fine on here too.
Yeah, it's going.
But well, Maybe that's just a sign that we should probably.
I think talk about something else. YouTube probably trying to censor you.
Yeah.
There's certain things you're not supposed to be talking about. Watch what you're saying. They're always listening. You get me kicked off YouTube.
I want the extras.
You get me kicked off YouTube, I'll be mad. Especially for something I don't even do. That's her. YouTube,
If they're
not
making
me.
it legal everywhere, what the hell does YouTube care? Yes, YouTube does censor.
Just because it's legal here, they legalized it.
But they're okay with chemtrails.
They're okay with everything else.
Good for you, George.
Yeah, you can have what is it, DEET in your breakfast cereal, but
Yeah. Yeah, they can put whatever they want in our food, but God forbid you grow a little bit of your own. I think in New Mexico you can get a card, right? It's only legal if you have a card.
yeah, but they did decriminalize it to a certain extent. You know, it's fines and stuff like that. Now it's not jail time either, but you know, I honestly don't know. I don't smoke.
Yeah, but the
so.
problem with it is then they use it against you. Like if you go to
You
purchase a
can't get-
firearm
you
or
can't
something, if you have a card, you have to tell
Well,
them.
it automatically comes up. It automatically comes up. In New Mexico, there's a couple of people
Yeah.
that I know who have gone to get a gun, but because they got a marijuana card, they can't get one.
Yeah.
Because even though you got a card and it's legal, the feds, and that's a federal background check for a firearm, still deem it a criminal activity. So,
Yeah. Yeah, JT, God forbid you drink clean water. Yeah. Philip says, find it funny. The whole AI thing was supposed to be far in the future, only a few years ago, and now it's being plastered all over ads now. You're absolutely right. I was thinking that earlier when I said we're not